I'm doing a quick video for everybody on the coffee forum there, the Roasters forum. So I had shown a video of my process earlier, and I've since then kind of added a couple things, modified a couple of things, and I thought I'd just do a quick tutorial of what we have going on here. So this is my coffee roasting setup. It consists of a KitchenAid mixer. This is an Artistan model. This will not ruin your KitchenAid mixer, and there's a couple other preventative steps that you can take to give it a little bit more longevity, but there's been a lot of pushback from people on this, other people that are intrigued. The scorching, this color toning, I actually walked away one time and I did have a batch catch on fire. That was totally my fault, so don't blame the process, that was the user. This is a Harbor Freight heat gun. It has variable temp control. There's other models out there that have variable temp control. I like this one because it's kind of manually adjustable, and I like to be able to sort of fidget with things. I'm kind of a knob guy as well as a digital guy, but I think for this it's like cooking, and just like a stove, I like knobs. I like to be able to just sort of change things quickly on the fly. So that's what's going on right there. And then we have inside the mixer bowl, I've used a heat shielding tape, and I've taped a K-probe. And it's attached to this thermal coupler, and this is going to give you, so right now we have an ambient temperature of about 101 and a half, and that's Fahrenheit. I'm just sorry, I'm American, so I deal in Fahrenheits. So what we've got now is I've done about 1.23 pounds of coffee, and we're going to go and roast that, and that's going to drop us down to approximately a full pound of coffee when it's said and done. So I'm going to go ahead and start that now. I'm going to bring the heat up to the maximum. And we're going to wait for this bowl to get up to probably about 360 degrees. As soon as I put the beans in, it's probably going to drop back down to about 160. And then it's going to rise. We're going to be looking for a first crack somewhere in the vicinity of about 360, 380 degrees. For beans that are a little bit more fragile, like I know some people like the the smaller beans, those roasts you're going to want to extend the dry cycle. You're going to want to roast those with less rising heat over a longer duration, and allow them to cook more subtly. So a Colombian bean is kind of big, so you have to give it more heat up front, and it's going to expand, and it's much more forgiving. Whereas if you've got like some of those smaller variants, like the Kenyan and so on and so forth, those beans you're going to want to be more gentle with. It's cooking. That's what we're doing here, is we're cooking. Everybody wants to make it into a whole science project, and it is science, but so is baking a cake. And that's kind of what we're doing. So we're at about 321 degrees. It doesn't look like it wants to rise much more. Slow. Also, I have this guy. So we put him in here. I'm going to build a slightly more impressive version of this, but this really helps to maintain the heat, keeps the beans from flying out of the bowl once they expand. You get the ones that like to pop. Now you'll see the temperature really jumps when you put that on there. And this is warm to the touch, but it's not dangerously hot at the moment. So I just want to let you guys know, this is not dangerously hot. Okay, so we're going to put our beans in. This got hot. Just want to warn you of that. So wear gloves on this guy. Putting the beans in. Beans are in. So we're going to have to dry time. Let's put the lid back over. There we go. So I can see right in here. I can see through here. Let's see if I can come around the other side. You can see it. There you go. You can see down in there. Some of you were wondering how I mount this. This is a paint gun holder, but you can really use anything. Plumbing, pipes. I'm thinking about just making a dedicated one out of probably just some bent metal bars of sorts. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, so we're stable at 400. I'm just holding this temperature, so I've dialed our heat back. And we're down to 3, down from 7. And we're rolling through first crack right now. I gotta be careful with this camera. Apparently I got a heat warning. It's 101 degrees out, so that's where we're at. Check the temp again. Every now and again, I just like to reboot this guy because it does like to freeze. So we're down at 375. So I did it, rolled up to 400, and then dropped back down. Now I'm going to turn my heat up, and we should start climbing pretty soon. I'm going to try to get to about 410 once we get to second crack. By dragging the time between first and second crack, I'm going to get a bit more of a robust flavor going here. Cut some of the acidity out. I feel like with the Colombian, I really like to bring out that chocolate caramel flavor. It's really more of what my wife and I like for our espresso. Okay? Hey guys, just wanted to show you. We're about 160 around the planetary. That's not bad. And we could wrap insulation around this thing, which I might do. So I'm hearing just first start of second crack. So I had to put my camera inside. Apparently the ambient temperature has been enough to put the heat too high. So wasn't able to video the second crack, but second crack came on around 410, 413 degrees. And I've got the roast. So as you can see, it's nice and even, but that's the temp in the bowl right now. So the bowl's nice and warm. So that's our process with the KitchenAid mixer and the Harbor Freight gun.